You like the Empress of Light's theme song?
They're okay. Their early work was a little too new wave for my taste. But when
Terraria came out in 11.
I think they really came into their own, commercially and artistically.
In 2020, Relogic released this.
4, their most accomplished album. I think they're undisputed masterpieces.
The Empress of Light music.
A song so catchy. Hey, Paul! Ah! Try getting it
Terra Prisma.
now, you fucking stupid bastard!
Hello people of the internet, Spaz here. Welcome to another 1.4.4 video. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to kill the Empress of Light on the Zenith Seed. So let's get started. The arena you're going to want to use for this fight is the same one you used for Medusa, but with a little bit extra added onto the bottom, so you don't have to deal with low gravity as much during the Empress fight, because that's horrible. So just mine out like 25 or so blocks from the pre-existing Medusa arena, and I put lava on the bottom of it just because mobs, and you should be fine.
Masochists really like to humiliate themselves.
For melee, I want you to use the Terrablade, Greater Healing Potions, Burger or any other food buff, Swiftness, Wrath, Sake, Rage, Inferno. Flipper Potions aren't really necessary, but if you do get in the lava, the Terra Spark Boots will protect you, so then the Flipper Potions will make you move faster in the lava. Night Owl Potions, Shine Potions, Thorn Potions, and Ichor Flasks. For armor, I want you to use the Chlorophyte Mask, Turtle Breastplate or Chestplate, and Hallowed Greaves, because although you don't get the Turtle set bonus, you get higher damage, and then the Hallowed Greaves give you increased movement speed. Berserker's Glove, Putrid Scent, Flame Wings, Master Ninja Gear, Avenger Emblem, Warrior Emblem, and Terra Spark Boots, all are forged to Menacing. So the strategy for the first phase is actually pretty simple. You're just going to want to run in one direction as she spawns the prismatic bolts, and when they're getting close to you, fly around her, and then after she dashes, she'll do the sun dance, which you simply just stay away when she does that, and then she'll recycle the attacks again, but this time after she dashes, she'll spawn ethereal lances, so you just have to kind of just dash back and forth with that. To avoid the ethereal lances, I recommend going in the opposite direction she dashed in. Just go down a little bit, let gravity slowly take you down, and then dash the other way. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can see it on screen. For second phase, her attack cycle will change. She'll start off by spawning ethereal lances that are actually much easier to dodge. You just go down in a straight line and you should typically be fine to avoid those. And then she'll spawn more prismatic bolts coming at you. So those, again, you kind of just go in a straight line to avoid those. And then she'll dash again. And then she'll spawn more ethereal lances, but these track you while you go in the air. So dash in the opposite direction, she charged at you, and then I typically try to circle around and go straight again to avoid the next set of prismatic bolts she'll spawn, and the everlasting rainbow she spawns. Keep going in a straight line, and then Rod of Discord out of there when she starts the sun dance. Then you got a second to breathe before she spawns more ethereal lances that are very randomized, but I just recommend falling, dashing, then the attack cycle repeats.
We're having cake.
When the shot is swishy, but you want that chocolate chip.
For Ranger, I want you to use the Chain Gun, Greater Healing Potions, a Burger or any other food buff, Swiftness, Wrath, Rage, Inferno, Flipper Potions. If you do happen to get in the lava, the Terra Spark Boots will protect you from burning, and then the Flipper Potions will make you run fast. Night Owl Potions, Shine Potions, and Thorns Potions. Chlorophyte bullets should definitely be used with the chain gun. And for armor, I want you to use the adamantite mask or the titanium ranger helmet. I don't think it really matters that much. And then the shroomite chestplate and leggings, because recently I think they nerfed the shroomite helmets. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it used to say it increases your damage by 15%, but now it's only 10%. So this gives you 14% extra damage, and you're not going to be in stealth mode during this fight anyway, because you're constantly moving, so you don't need the set bonus from shroomite armor. I recommend using the Frozen Shield, Putrid Scent, Flame Wings, Master Ninja Gear, Avenger Emblem, Ranger Emblem, and Terraspark Boots, all reforged to Menacing. Alright, so strategy for phase 1, just go in a straight line, let her spawn with prismatic bolts, and then just avoid her dash. After she spawns these prismatic bolts, she'll do Sundance, which you just simply stay away from, get away from it, and then she'll dash again, and the cycle will start again. But this time, instead of doing Sundance, she'll actually spawn Ethereal Lances. So to avoid Ethereal Lances, I typically go in the opposite direction she charged at you, let gravity take me down, and then dash again, just in the way she charged. It's hard to explain, but you can see it on screen. For phase 2, she'll start off the phase by spawning Ethereal Lances, but this time they're very easy to dodge. You can clearly see where they're coming from. I typically just go down and then to the side and go in a straight line, and you should be fine at those. Then she'll spawn more prismatic bolts, but those are again not too hard to dodge. You just go in a straight line and avoid her charge. After she spawns these prismatic bolts, she'll spawn Ethereal Lances, but this time they track you and at your movement. So I like to go over her charge, fall down, and then dash. A circular kind of motion, and that just puts her farther away from you. So when she spawns more prismatic bolts, you have more of a chance to react. And to react to the Everlasting Rainbow, she will also spawn. So then once she's about to go into the Sundance again, you should use the Rock Discord to get out of there, make it 2 seconds to breathe before she spawns more Ethereal Lances that just are randomized. They kind of just come from everywhere on the screen. So you just gotta dash and back and forth, kind of.
I'm getting used to your leg.
Oh my goodness!
For Mage, I want you to use the Razor Pine. The other 2 weapons I do not even use. I was testing those weapons, they didn't work very good. So just use the Razor Pine, trust me, it's super good. Use greater healing potions, greater mana potions, a burger or any other food buff, swiftness, wrath, rage, inferno, magic power, mana regeneration, flipper potions if you end up getting in the lava at the bottom of the arena. The Terraspark Boots will protect you from burning, and the flipper potions will make you run fast in that lava. Night Owl potions, Shine potions, and Thorns potions should also be used, and don't forget about your Auto Discord. For armor, just use Spectre armor with the mask. You don't even need the hood, Mana Cloak, Putrid Scent, Flame Wings, Master Ninja Gear, Celestial Emblem, Sorcerer Emblem, and Terraspark Boots, all reforged to Menacing. For phase 1 of the fight, you just gotta go in a straight line, let her spawn the prismatic bolts, and avoid her dash. Then she'll go into the Sundance attack, so just simply stay away from her, and then she'll charge you again and repeat this attack cycle. But instead of going into Sundance at the end, she'll spawn Ethereal Lances. So what I like to do is go in the opposite direction she charges you in, let myself fall, and then dash in the direction she did charge you in. It's hard to explain, but you can kind of see it on screen. In phase 2, she starts off by spawning ethereal lances, which are much easier to dodge than phase 1. You simply just kind of just go down, go to the side. She'll then start spawning more prismatic bolts, which you again just go in a straight line to avoid. And then once these are done, she'll charge you again and spawn more ethereal lances that actually track your movement this time. So I like to go in a kind of circular motion in the opposite direction she charged me in, and then loop around and keep going in a straight line, because that puts her farther away from you. So when she starts her next attack, which is more prismatic bolts, you have more time to react. This also gives you more time to react to the everlasting rainbow that you also spawn, and you just keep going in a straight line to avoid these. Then, at the end of all this, she'll go into a sun dance, so teleport with the Rod of Discord out of there. And then you have a moment to breathe. Before, there was more ethereal lances that are like very randomized across the screen, so just make sure you fall and dash accordingly for that.
Time for secret tickle time.
For a summoner, I want you to use the Dark Harvest Whip, the Deadly Sphere Staff, Greater Healing Potions, a Burger or any other food buff, Swiftness, Wrath, Rage, Inferno, Summoning Potions, Flipper Potions, for if you get stuck in that lava, the Terra Sparklers will protect you from burning, so then the Flipper Potions will make it so you can run really fast in lava still. Night Owl Potions, Shine Potions, Thorns Potions, and Ichor Flasks. And don't forget about the Rod of Discord. For armor, you should use Spooky Armor, Hercules Beetle, Papaya Scarab, Flame Wings, Master Ninja Gear, Necromantic Scroll, Summoner Emblem, and Terra Spark Boots, all reforged to Menacing. So, for phase 1, just dash in a straight line, and let her spawn the prismatic bolts. These can be easily dodged by, of course, going in a straight line. And then once she's done spawning these, she will charge you and then go into a sun dance. And then once she does the sun dance, she'll charge you again, and then spawn more prismatic bolts. Once she does these prismatic bolts though, she'll charge you, and then now spawn ethereal lances instead of doing sun dance. So this can be easily avoided by kind of just going in the direction opposite of the way she charged you, letting yourself get pulled down by gravity, and then dashing in the way she did charge you in. That's hard to explain, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about on screen. For phase 2, she'll start the phase by spawning ethereal lances, but these are much more predictable to dodge than the first phase. Then she'll go and start spawning prismatic bolts, so then you're just going to want to keep going in a straight line. And once she charges you, just kind of loop around, because then she's going to spawn more ethereal lances that actually track you this time. So I like to kind of go in a circular loop and then dash under her, because this puts her in a position farther away from you, so when she starts the attack of spawning the everlasting rainbow and more prismatic bolts, you'll be completely fine as long as you keep running in a straight line. And then once she goes into her Sundance attack, you're going to want to teleport your ass out of there with the Rod of Discord, and it'll give you a moment to breathe before she spawns more ethereal lances, but this time they're completely randomized across the screen. So just make sure you fall and dash accordingly to get rid of those, and then this attack cycle repeats until she dies.